Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 4th, video number 2 on the day. Thought we'd take a quick look at what went on this afternoon. As you guys know, pretty wild day here across much of western Washington. A couple very heavy rounds of rainfall. We had some thunderstorm activity out there. We had some urban flooding, all kinds of crazy stuff going on out there. So you can see what the Doppler radar looked like this morning. There's Seattle here. You can see Mount Vernon up there. There's Everett, and you can see the San Juan Islands, the coastal area here. And this is the Camano Island Doppler radar here. So it kind of gets its beams blocked by the Olympic Mountains there. So you got to look out to the Langley Doppler if you want to see what's going on the coastline here. But I want to play what happened today. As you move in through this morning, this is about 8 a.m. right here. And you can see these very powerful segments embedded in this cold front here. And that's when you get these really blustery, windy conditions and very heavy rainfall that just seemingly come out of nowhere. And we had some lightning strikes associated with this as well. Look at these segments moving across some of the southern Puget Sound near Normandy Park, Three Tree Point, all the way down through Tacoma, Lakewood, Fort Lewis, as this front just rolled across the area and brought very heavy rainfall out there. My mom called me and said that her driveway was flooding. I got there later and it was still pretty flooded, but yeah, the water got all the way up to her house. Pretty incredible there. And you can see these segments as they move off to the east there. Then there was a break and you can see that next line of showers coming, and watch this one develop. This one had several lightning strikes with it as well. And look at that. It was really beefed up as it moved across some of the Seattle Metro there and I-5 all the way down again across Burien towards Tacoma here as well. Keep that into motion there. And yeah, very powerful line that actually postponed my son's soccer game for about 30 minutes. And we saw a big flash of lightning and some thunder quickly after, and we had to clear the field out there. But yeah, interesting weather this afternoon for sure. Good news is things are calming down for the time being, but we've got another storm system on the way, and it's going to bring additional rainfall, and we're starting to pile up the rain pretty quickly here across Pacific Northwest. We'll take a look at the extended forecast here tonight as well as always, but look at some of the precipitation over the last 72 hours. The Seattle Metro here, and you can see some areas up over 3 inches of rain here. Get off to the east a little bit, and you're getting some 4+ inch totals as well. If you look up to the north, look at some of the higher terrain, the northern Cascades, some areas getting over 7-8 inches out there, and look at the terrain features and the interesting precipitation amounts. You can see across Port Angeles and Sequim out there, much less precipitation. Whidbey Island, very dry compared to some places across the Olympic Mountains with over 8 or 9 inches of rainfall here. You can see Vancouver Island with big amounts also. And you can kind of see that rainfall effect go out towards Mount Vernon here as well, and even up towards Bellingham a bit, relatively speaking. Out towards the Washington coast, some big amounts, but look at the southern slopes of the Olympic Mountains. A lot of places up over 7 inches here as well, and some of the higher Willapa Hills down here 7+ inches also. Looking down through Oregon, some pretty good amounts across some of the coastal ranges as well. A little bit of rain shadowing there for Corvallis down through Eugene, and the Cascades, some nice amounts here all the way up to the Washington southern Cascades. Now taking a look at this mountain snow late Sunday night through Tuesday evening. You can see Stevens Pass maybe 2 to 3 inches. Snoqualmie Pass shouldn't be too bad this round here, but you can see Washington Pass up there 8 to 12 inches. I don't know if they're closed Highway 20. I should have checked that before I started the video here today, but I heard that Highway 20 was actually closed for a time. I don't know if that was the yearly closure here. It doesn't seem like we've gotten that much snow just yet, but somebody could probably leave that in the comments down below, or I'll check that for tomorrow's video. But you can see the next round here, Snoqualmie Pass probably okay a little bit for Stevens. And also sneaker waves along the coastline here. This does include today and on in through tomorrow here as well. So watch out for that. The waves could run up higher than normal heights. And if you want to finally break down and buy a weather station for your place of residence, this is a good one to do it with here. It's nice and affordable, nice smartphone app, easy to set up, no batteries required. Now, looking at the wind speeds here, I got 32 miles per hour at my house, some decent gusts across the Puget Sound, but just generally in the 30s for the most part. Did see some 40s out there in Whidbey Island, did get 54 also. I think I saw some 40s up by Bellingham as well. And yeah, this next system is, it's going to bring some more blustery conditions across the area, but nothing too crazy yet. Again, still searching for that first big windstorm of the year here for the Pacific Northwest. Now, look at the European, the 18Z on the left versus the GFS on the right. You can see the system that moved through today, and this next one kind of barreling into the coast here as well. Another round of rain, and you'll notice this bit of a short wave here, more pronounced on the GFS versus the European. Could bring some interesting convergence activity. We're going to watch this one a little bit closer tomorrow and get that NAM3 cam in the range of this one also, and maybe the European and the GFS will come to agreement on that tomorrow. But then you can see some ridging builds, especially on the European here, but then we get another system starting to roll in here as we go through Thursday afternoon. A little bit of a transient ridge then again, and we'll take a look at the extended forecast here coming up at the end of the video also. But you can see not too bad a model agreement here. A little bit of difference in the timing in that system here as we go through the later portion of the week, however. Now, looking at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right, this is precipitation. Obviously winding down today from where we were this morning and this afternoon. Then the next system barrels in here again as we go through tomorrow. During the day, the clouds will be rolling in precipitation for the coastal areas, and by the time we get towards Sunday night, you'll see this precip sweeping over much of the region. This low will be filling as it makes its way to the coastline. Some gusty winds possible on the south side of that. Nothing too crazy, though, and then you can see this thing taking its sweet time getting out of here. By the time we go into Tuesday, still some convergent zone activity showing up here, and then you can kind of see the difference in that short wave. The GFS shows a bit more robust, and you can see some of that convergent zone activity and more precipitation associated with it, and lasting longer on in through Tuesday night and on in through Wednesday morning, potentially. European much quicker clearing that out. Then you can see the next system arrive as we go through the end of the following week coming up there. Now, looking at day two, this is an introduction of that thunderstorm to the coastal areas here, and we did get quite a few lightning strikes here across some of western Washington, especially through the day today, and this would be day three. So this would be Monday morning through Tuesday morning. So we could get another round of thunderstorms here somewhere across the Pacific Northwest. And right now, it's looking better across some of Oregon and maybe some of western Washington. Right now, it's of the Seattle Metro, but we'll watch that over the next couple of days. And the current hazards, the wind advisory has been dropped for the Puget Sound. It just wasn't that windy. There were some pretty gusty winds maybe when the segments were moving through it and whatnot, but not a big windstorm overall. And here's looking at Spokane on the NAM. This wind, you can see wrapping up here as we go through the evening tonight. Some gusty winds probably just now wrapping up here as well. And then the next system will be coming in, but no big winds expected with that. This is Seattle Metro. You can see the control run with this next system, maybe similar, gust up towards 30 miles per hour, nothing too crazy. Looking at the fantasy windstorm hunt, though, you can kind of see some bigger solutions out here. We've kind of been teased with this so far in November. None of these have come to fruition, but that's kind of the way this fantasy windstorm hunt goes. And we don't have any agreement here, but we still see the potential for some bigger wind gusts out there, and we'll continue to watch that day by day. Here we go at the European. We're going to look at the extended forecast now. You can see Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon. Check out that system that rolled through today. You can see it weakening as it moves in over British Columbia. Then we get our Monday and Tuesday system rolling in there. We get a ridging pattern setting up here for a couple days also. So we might get a couple decent days coming up through this week, but then by Thursday afternoon and night, that next system will be rolling in. Another transient ridge quick, but then look at the European bringing up a pretty sinister looking trough, keeps swinging these polar lobes towards the Pacific Northwest, keeping our weather active. And then it really wants to dig out across the Pacific Ocean here, and maybe we'll get some atmospheric river or windstorm potential with that. It's off in fantasy land, but definitely an appealing looking pattern here for storm lovers here across the Pacific Northwest as we continue on in through the month of November. And look at SeaTac here, actually right on the threshold for some landslide potential here. So yeah, I mean, nothing you could really do to prepare for it so much, but just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. We are getting close, and then this next system's going to roll in here as well, and any localized heavy rainfall could, maybe add to some of that landslide potential as well. But yeah, interesting storm today. What a storm. I mean, nice, fun weather watching out there. Nice thunder and lightning show. It's always crazy watching the water overrun its banks and flood out into the urban areas and the streets, and watch people trying to drive around in it, and rocks being brought up and pieces of wood and logs from trees and stuff being thrown across the road out there. But yeah, pretty crazy stuff there. Anyway, I'll do my video again tomorrow. We'll check things out. We'll look at the extended forecast again and see if this stormy November looks to continue as we go on in through the month. So anyway, I will talk to you guys again tomorrow, and I will see you then.